The Great Western Railway is one of the United Kingdom's heritage railways. But this story happened near Oxford Station, where it ran smoothly under the jurisdiction of the manager, Mr. Morgan. He was in charge of scheduling and keeping the trains in order. Whenever an engine caused trouble or got into an accident, Mr. Morgan would give that engine a second chance, for he didn't intend on scrapping any of them. He was a kind man, and he looked upon each engine as unique and special, no matter how big, small, troublesome, or kind they are. He would be present at the workshop for when a new engine was first introduced to the world, once completed and ready for its first day of work. Mr. Morgan could recall the day when he first met two new Trojan tank engines that awoke separately. One was a female, numbered 1347. 3 months later, fearing the other tank engine wouldn't wake and be functional, steam hissed from its pistons, and a young male was brought to life in the engine. Mr. Morgan numbered him 1350. As the two tank engines were the same class, they were both labeled brother and sister. To not be confused by their numbers, the two tank engines gave each other a personal name. 1350 was named Peter, and 1347 was called Eliza. As the two tank engines learned their way around the yard near Oxford Station, they got to know some of the other engines of the GWR. They learned that Eliza is kind and cautious to anyone she met. Peter is also kind and cautious, but he sometimes became a little more sensitive and clumsy. When his sister wasn't with him in the yard, he sometimes bumped the trucks too hard that some of its cargo spilled. Peter is also a very cheeky engine, and he liked to play jokes. However, this would sometimes get him into trouble and cause confusion with the schedule. But Mr. Morgan liked the two tank engines very much. Unfortunately, in the year of 1927, Mr. Morgan passed away at an old age, and a new manager was hired to run Oxford Station. He was called Mr. Stevens, and he was very different from Mr. Morgan. For one thing, Mr. Stevens was a very firm and stern man. He didn't want any foolishness on the railway, and he wanted all trains to be on time. Mr. Stevens mentioned to his engines that if any foolishness or accidents were to happen, he would see to them personally and see if they would be sent away or scrapped. Peter and Eliza didn't ever want to be separated from each other, so Peter agreed to tone down his cheekiness and did his best to not mess up in front of their new manager.
Oh, thank you, dear.
No problem, Meryl. Now you take care of the passengers.
Oh, I will. And you too, Eliza. Do look out for your brother as well. I don't want you two to get into trouble. Then you both may have to leave. Or worse, scrapped.
Don't worry, Meryl. I always look out for my brother. Nothing will come between us.
Well, yes, of course, darling. But not everything can be a happily ever after. Sometimes there may come a day when people can't always agree with something. And then one day they turn on you and you're alone.
Oh, well, I don't see me or my brother ever turning our backs, for we care about each other very much. Unless if you mean, have you always been alone?
Sometimes. But I mean when my passengers have mistreated me fairly. Like they don't seem to respect some of us steam engines anymore. Even our own manager seems to think that diesel engines are more efficient than steam. Think about it, Eliza, because there may come a time when even you and your brother may be alone with no one to look after you.
Peter? What's wrong? Did you get into trouble?
I'm being sold.
What? But, why?
Mr. Stevens says that the two of us are expensive to this railway, and that the era of diesel is approaching anyways. And also, because he said it was reckless and clumsy.
Well, if you're being sold, then I might as well be sold with you too.
Oh, it's no use trying, sister. Mr. Stevens says that you're the more reliable and hardworking tank engine, whereas I'm the klutz of this railway.
But this can't be right. Siblings should stay together.
I suppose we can't agree on some things in life.
Well then, I could come visit you on this new railway. I'm sure it won't be far.
Actually, I have no idea where I'm being sold. Mr. Stevens is thinking about where to drop me off. I'm being put on a flatbed and taken away tomorrow afternoon.
Can't sleep?
Of course not. I don't know what's going to become of me and how I will go on without you, Eliza.
Well, if I was on my own and I was scared, I look at the stars.
Really?
Sure. Not only are they beautiful, but they're comforting too. See how they twinkle and sparkle?
So if I feel scared or lonely, I just look up at the night sky?
Yep. It makes me feel a little better.
Well, I will admit, they are quite pretty.
If I never knew you, if I never felt this love, I would have no inkling of how precious life can be. If I never had you, I would never have a clue how at last I'd find in you the missing part of me. In this world so full of fear, full of rage and lies, I can see the truth so clear in your eyes, so dry your eyes, and I'm so grateful to you. I'd have lived my whole life through, lost forever, if I never knew you.
I thought our love would be so beautiful. Somehow we'd make Merill yard bright. I never knew that fear and hate could be so strong. All they leave us were these whispers in the night. But still my fire is saying we were right. If I never knew
There's no moment
if I never knew
since
this
the
love,
moment
I
that
would
we
have no
If our
inkling
time
of
has
how
gone
precious
to
life can
lived at
be.
last.
Just remember this, Peter. Even though we'll be far apart, somehow I'll always be with you.
I'll remember, Eliza. I promise.
And who knows? Maybe I will have the chance to leave this railway too and come see you at your new railway. In fact, I'll be there to see you depart tomorrow afternoon.
And I'm so grateful to you. I'd have lived my whole life through, sky.
Never knowing why. Lost forever. If I never knew you.
Peter? Peter? Peter, are you there? Excuse me, Mr. Stevens? Have you seen Peter, 1350?
Oh, that little klutz. I sent him packing first break of day.
What? He left? But I promised I would say goodbye to him.
Oh, please. It would have been better to let you have a good rest instead of being tired for the rest of the day if you woke up at 4 a.m. After all, 1347, you are my star shunter, and you're the reason the schedules are moving smoothly, unlike your klutz brother of yours. Now back to the yard with you, 1347. I have some earnings to count.
Eliza, dear, your brother really did want to see you before he left. But like Mr. Stevens said, he sent him off the first chance he could. I told you that we can't all agree with some things. I too liked Peter being here with us. You, want to collect my coaches for me? Maybe that'll cheer you up.
I suppose so.
That's the one. If I choose you, would you work hard?
Huh? Oh, yes, sir. Please, sir.
That's a good engine. I'll call you Percy. Would you like that?
Oh, yes, sir. Oh, thank you, sir.
As the months became years, the Second World War soon broke out in Europe. The Great Western Railway was struggling to help by getting passengers to safer destinations and delivering cargo to support the war. Meryl demanded Mr. Stevens that Eliza should stay in the yard at all times so she would be safe. Mr. Stevens agreed, and so Eliza continued her time in the yard, preparing coaches and other trains. Despite what's happening around her, Eliza has never forgotten about her brother Peter. Every night in the shed, she would hope Peter would be safe from the war as well. When the war finally ended in 1945, peace and relief was within the GWR and original work resumed. However, Meryl became a little paranoid, for during the war, she had to carry frightened passengers and injured soldiers to and from big cities of the country. Now she feared that Eliza, the engine she looked after the most, would become lost to the cruel dark world. For you see, Meryl had soon started to despise humans, as they were the ones who started the war in the first place. But to Eliza, she didn't want to stay in the yard forever. It had gotten boring, doing the same jobs for years. Eliza wanted to pull a train of her own out of the yard, but whenever she got the chance to try and do it, even by speaking up first at the sheds during the morning roll call, Mr. Stevens refused. It's now 10 years later, and modernization was already in place with new technology. Several diesel engines came to work on different railways across the globe, even the GWR.
to be kidding me!
I'm really sorry, sir, but
nothing! I ordered you, 9401, to take that small goods train just to the nearby branch line for the connection. But you had to go ahead and break your cylinder. Thanks to your meddlesome act, I'm going to have to find a replacement as soon as possible. 1347, push 9401 here back to the sheds for repairs.
Yes, sir. Will do, sir. Broke your cylinder? What caused this?
I'm quite old, and I'm falling apart from not being treated properly. You see, Mr. Stevens didn't have the money to get me better parts back then. But this just takes the cake.
How about I take it? There's no other engine around to do it.
Well, if you're up for the challenge, then...
Yes!
Alright then, the train is the one closest to the station. If you take that small goods train up to the branch line up ahead, drop it off there for the connection train, and I'll handle the rest.
I shunted 5 loaded trucks many times, so pulling this shouldn't be any different. Right?
"9401, I found a replacement to take your train."
Oh, there's no need, sir. 1347 took it.
She did what?
Well, she did offer to take it, and you needed...
You idiot! 1347 was never meant to leave this yard. Ever! Now because of you, I have no one to shunt the important goods train in the next half hour. I'll have to see to it that you'll be shunted away from this railway tomorrow straight away, even without your repairs.
Sir, you don't mean that...
The time has come for your diesel replacement, 9401. Hope you enjoy the rest of your days in the scrapyard.
I knew taking this train would be easy. Just for once, it's my one chance of freedom. The yard has been like my locked tower or something.
Hello. Don't think I've seen you before.
Well, it's my first train, actually.
Really? Where have you been?
In the shunting yard, practically most of my life.
Well, what's stopping you?
My manager. He says I'm his star shunter, and that I should stay in the yard at all times.
So you took this train without him knowing?
Well, I can't stay in the yard forever. I want to prove I can do more.
True that, but you shouldn't disobey a manager's commands. I'm sure your time will come. Well, I suppose I'll see you around, 1347.
Actually, I'm personally called Eliza.
Name's Oliver.
When I told you to stay in the yard, I said stay!
Sir,
Don't interrupt me! You are one of my engines. You're supposed to be loyal, hard-working and honest with me, but you disobeyed my order, taking a train out of the yard. Thanks to your stubbornness, Meryl had to shunt the important train to the station herself, as she was the only engine around. Meryl has no experience with shunting, which is why I rely on you to do the task. If I ever catch you pulling a stunt like that again, 1347, you are done!
Done?
Cast it for scrap! I already had plans to send 9401 to the smelter's yard first thing next morning because of his broken parts. do you want to be replaced next? Don't let me catch or hear of you taking a train out of the yard or even thinking of leaving at all. You are needed here, for you're one of the reasons I've made enough dough for these past few years. Do I make myself clear?
Yes, sir. I promise, sir. What did I clearly say? Young engine should listen.
No, please!
What were you not to do? You must see and learn. Why could you not obey? You should listen. What have I been to you? What would you have me be? Sold away like your brother? But I am old. I am worn. I embarrass you.
No!
You are ashamed of me.
No, Meryl!
You are ashamed. You don't understand.
I cannot stay here forever, Meryl. I wish to see Peter again.
Don't you know what's out there in the world? Someone has to shield you from the world. Stay with me. Brothers wait there in the world, it's true. Brothers, yes, but diesels and humans too. Stay at home. I am home. Who out there could love you more than I? What out there that I cannot supply? Stay with me. Stay with me, the world is dark around. Stay with me, where you can be safe and sound. With me.
I tried giving you protection, but yet you disobeyed me.
No, I didn't mean...
You won't see Peter again.
What?
You're the only one of your class now. Peter couldn't redeem his clumsiness from whatever railway he stayed at. He was scrapped earlier this week.
No. 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 But Meryl had lied, so Eliza wouldn't have a chance to leave the GWR and enter the cruel dark world of diesels and humans. It had really done the trick, because Eliza was so heartbroken that she had wept about it for many days. Having no other family, Eliza indeed didn't leave the yard. For what other purpose would she have? Many saddened years slowly passed by. Eliza couldn't smile as much anymore as she continued her usual routine of shunting in the yard, preparing trains and coaches for the other engines. Eliza soon realized that life on the GWR wasn't getting any better. For first, Senior Mr. Stevens had to retire from his position as manager and let his son take over Oxford Station. Like his father, Mr. Stevens Jr. didn't care much for steam engines, especially with the ones working at a station. But in order to save and earn more money, Mr. Stevens had no choice but to keep them. For now. For each and every day, Eliza worked hard to earn her place so she wouldn't be scrapped under the watchful order of Mr. Stevens Jr. As if that wasn't her only problem, Meryl still kept a close watch over Eliza, making sure the Trojan tank engine couldn't leave and let Meryl be alone. Eliza didn't think there was no easy escape from this hellhole. There were times she much preferred to be sold or scrapped to join her brother Peter. Or at least, that's what she believes what happened to him.
So you see, Percy, being brave is not the same as not feeling scared. Being brave is about what you do, even when you do feel scared.
It's really funny, Gator, but you reminded me of someone who told me the same thing long ago. I think she said if I was scared, I should look at the shiny bars, or... Oh, no, wait, no, or was it the sparkling cars?
Who said that?
I really wish I knew. But she told me that they're comforting to look at. And come to think of it, I can hardly remember what she even looked like.
Who?
My sister, Eliza.
Oh, good evening. Who might you be, little one?
They call me 1347, but I personally call myself Eliza.
It's mighty fine to meet you, Eliza. I'm City of Truro, but some of my friends call me Truro for short.
Nice to meet you. I bet you go far and beyond.
Only as far to London. How about you?
No. I just stay here in Shunt. My shedmate Meryl says the world is too dangerous for me to venture out alone.
Well, Meryl doesn't know everything. What has she told you?
She says the world is a dangerous place, and I would be scrapped if I left these yards. Like my brother.
Well, that is all true. About the world being a dangerous place. With the modernization plan almost finished, there were less and less steam engines. The Earl of Berkley and I are both reserved, and this is our last run on the Great Western Railway. But I know a railway far away from here, where steam still runs to this day. The island of Sodor.
You've been there before?
Oh yes, back in 1957. Speaking of which, there was a little green saddle tank engine just like you living there.
Was his name Peter?
No, I think it was Percy. Though he did ask if I knew a tank engine like you, saying that you were his sister.
Peter. Thank you for telling me, Mr. City of Truro, sir. I must go to Sodor right away.
Whoa, slow down, little one. You'll never be able to get to Sodor without clearance from British Railways.
Maybe not, but we can sneak through the night.
Sneak through, driver?
Yeah. You remember that I heard stories about the 1400 who ran through the night until he reached Sodor?
Oliver?
Yes. He was saved by another steam engine late at night before he was scrapped. We could do that, Eliza, and get you to your brother.
But what about Meryl? She would freak if she found out I was escaping. And besides, she keeps a close watch on me, even when I sleep.
Don't worry, I'll deal with her.
But what about the diesels who will take and scrap me? And what if I get lost? I've never gone out on my own that far before. What if...
Eliza, listen to me. Nothing is going to happen to you. Remember, not all the things that Meryl says are true. This is your one and only chance to escape this place you call home and see your true family again. You just need to go for it sometimes and jump into the unknown. Unless you prefer to stay here and shunt, not exploring new places and things, and most importantly, not seeing your brother again.
Come on, old engine. Let's get you inside the sheds for some rest.
Oh yes, of course, Berkley. Think about what I said, Eliza.
I can hear you, but I won't. Some look for trouble, while others don't. There's 1,000 reasons I should go about my day and ignore your whistle, which I wish would go away. Oh, oh. You're not a voice. You're just a ringing in my mind, and if I heard you, which I don't, unspoken for I fear. Everyone I've ever loved is here within these walls. I'm sorry, secret siren, but I'm blocking out your calls. I've had my adventure, I don't need something new. I'm afraid of what I'm risking if I follow you into the unknown, into the unknown, into the unknown. What do you want? 'Cause you've been keeping me awake. Are you here to distract me so I make a big mistake? Or are you someone out there who's a little bit like me, who knows deep down I'm not where I'm meant to be? Every day's a little harder as I feel my emotions grow. Don't you know there's part of me that longs to go into the unknown, into the unknown, into the unknown. Oh, are you out there? Do you know me? Can you feel me? Can you show me? You don't leave me alone. How do I follow you into the unknown?
Eliza, wake up.
Driver? What are you doing here this late?
We're escaping, remember?
What? Now?
Indeed.
I suppose you'll be leaving now.
It seems like it, but I'm still nervous about this. And what would Meryl and Mr. Stevens say?
Don't worry. Meryl will learn in time that she can't always be with you. And the right thing to do would be letting go of the ones closest to her. As for Mr. Stevens, I'll just say British Railways took you away for scrap in the middle of the night, and they'd send a replacement soon.
Meryl, I know you were looking out for me, but an engine's got to live her own life. Hopefully we'll meet each other again. And Truro, thank you for everything.
Godspeed, Eliza. I hope you find your brother.
Driver, you know the way we're going, right?
Of course, old girl. I made a sketch of it just before we left Oxford.
Just be careful you don't lose it, Jerry. It's our only way of knowing where Sodor is.
Don't worry, Carl. As long as no diesels or station masters question us, we'll be alright.
Driver, what's our plan if it's morning? We could be caught in the open light.
Well, we can go down that way, but it's not on the route. If we get lost, this map would be useless to us.
I think we have to risk it, you two. We can't continue down the main line during the day, and we can't wait for it to turn night again. That was risky, Jerry.
Well, I like to live risky.
Morning, everyone.
Morning. Eliza, you be a dear and fetch my coaches, please. Eliza, wake up. I'll be late if my coaches aren't ready. Eliza, wake up. Eliza, if you're on the main line again, you'll be in big trouble.
Meryl, calm down. Mr. Stevens just sent her to the works, just outside Didcot. After all, she is his best shunter, and couldn't replace her.
Morning. I've come to take over the shunting work here.
Ah, you must be my new diesel shunter. Now where is that small teapot? It's time she knows she's being replaced.
What? Truro said you sent her to get fixed. She's your favourite shunter.
And why would I do that? If she was falling to pieces, I would have replaced her years ago. Now, where is she?
She left. I saw her leave last night, saying something about going to the island of Sodor.
I'll have to make several phone calls to report her. Another station will soon locate her and she'll get the punishment she deserves, like 9401 did. Shunter, get to work!
Would you mind explaining to me why you lied about Eliza's disappearance?
Well, I may have encouraged her to go find her brother, Peter. I told her about the island.
I can't believe you encouraged Eliza to leave. She hasn't been on her own out on the main line before. Thanks to you, she could be lost, out of coal and water, or caught by diesels. I must go and find her. She needs to come back home and be safe with me.
Meryl! Look, I'm sorry I lied to you about Eliza, but this is what's best for her. Even if you do find her, She won't be safe here, for Mr. Stevens will eventually scrap her. I've told her where Peter now lives, and it's really a safe haven for steam engines. It's the island of Sodor, and she'll be safe. Trust me. I've been to Sodor before, and they had a lot of old engines. I know you're afraid of losing what you love most, but you have to learn to let them go, and let them spread their wings.
No matter what you say, young ones won't listen. No matter what you know, young ones refuse to learn. Guide them along the way, still they don't listen. Young ones can only grow from something you love to something you lose.
I can't seem to make heads or tails of this, Carl.
Jerry, it isn't rocket science. Here, let me have a look. You're right. This map is very bad shape. Weathering must have damaged it so no one bothered to replace it. If we can't read it, where would we go from here?
I don't know, Carl. I just don't know.
You'll find a way. Right, driver?
We'll get there, old girl. Come on, Jerry, let's continue on and see what comes ahead.
We can't just go on blinded, Carl. We could get into trouble, Eliza.
Look, all we just need to do is get to Crewe. I have an old friend who could give us directions. I heard he helped to rebuild an experimental engine into an LMS Black 5, and that same engine is on the island of Sodor.
Either way, we can't move while it's daylight in case of getting caught. We'll wait until night, and then we'll set off.
Alright then. In the meantime, I think there's a village nearby. They're bound to have a pub or something, and who knows, there could be a better and more accurate map.
Will you be alright by yourself?
I think so. No one seems to have come to the station a long time, so as long as I stay hidden behind the foliage, I'll be okay.
We'll be back as soon as the sun is gone.
For the first time, Eliza could now think to herself alone. She looked around to her surroundings and saw the tracks were covered by weeds and grass. Trees towered over the station and the small yard where a few trucks were rusting away. She didn't want to admit it, but she was very scared of one thing more than rusting away and getting turned to scrap. It was man. Man chose who would stay and who would go. Man would decide her fate. A little tear dropped down from her cheek as she closed her eyes. She tried to think of happy thoughts before going to sleep. But then a strong emotion made her eyes open again. You won't have to look at the starry skies no longer, little brother. I'll soon be home.
That's where we need to go. And look, here's the station where we parked Eliza, Nunnington. Crewe is a distance away, but with little luck, we could make it. I'll just write the directions on the napkin.
Carl, you said you knew a guy at Crewe, right?
Yeah?
There's just one thing that concerns me. What if he isn't there?
I don't know. But it's our only option we have. And it's not like we can ask any of the locals to help sneak a Great Western engine around the LMS.
Eliza! Eliza!
Are we moving now?
Yes, we are, old girl. We found a map and copied which way we should go.
That's great news. How long until we're at Crewe, driver?
I think about 70 miles or so.
Come on, Jerry. The sooner we go, the sooner we're there.
Carl, what are you doing here with this engine?
Well, buddy, I brought her here for your help.
Carl, we don't fix steam engines anymore, especially from the Great Western.
No, Rob. Me and Jerry are trying to get her to the island of Sodor. You know, that place you helped to rebuild their number 3 engine?
Well, I don't know what you expect me to do. I'm a workman. I don't tell anyone where they can go preserve an engine.
Rob, May Jerry and I talk about this inside the office?
I suppose so. Take your engine to the safe siding next to the building, driver.
We'll be right back, Eliza. If anything happens, just toot your whistle.
It was very dark in Crewe's scrapyard, as the bright moon shone high, making the engines in the long line silhouette, which made Eliza feel a little uneasy. No one smiled or talked among each other. They just stood there, waiting for the end to come, while the crunching of metal and the buzzing of the cutter's torch echoed around the yard.
Splodge, this bunch is full. Take it away.
Yes, boss.
Of course, boss.
Hey, you're not broken or rusty. What are you doing here?
I'm going to the island of Sodor.
Sodor? Why would you want to go to that old dump?
I've heard they preserve steam engines there, like me.
And what makes you think you'll make it there in one piece?
Boss.
Huh?
You know you're not allowed to touch the engines in that siding.
What do you want, Splodge?
It's Splatter.
And Dodge, sir.
I ain't got time to say both names. Now what do you mooks want?
We need you at the back, boss.
Yeah. Foreman's orders.
Consider this your lucky day, Pipsqueak. Come on, Pinchy.
Eliza!
Huh?
You're not going to believe this, but...
We're going to Sodor!
Well, almost. I couldn't find a train that would take you directly to Sodor, but I found one that's heading close to Sodor. You see, there's a scrap train leaving in an hour, and what we thought of was this. If you couple up behind it, it'll take you up to Burlington, which is on the opposite side of Britain, and then it would be around a 6-hour journey to Sodor from there.
Thank you, Rob.
Right then. Where's the train setting up, Rob?
On track 3. Just couple up behind the brake van and let yourself get dragged away.
Thanks again, Rob.
You're welcome, and say hello to Henry for me.
You mind moving, miss? We're busy here.
Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me. Does anyone know the way to Sodor?
Forget it, Eliza. These diesels won't help.
It's not like we don't know where we're going.
Well, we are on the eastern side of England, so we need to go west.
Oi! I thought I told you to move out of the way.
I'm really sorry. This place is new to me. But could you please tell me if you've heard of the island of Sodor? I'm trying to get there.
Miss, I spend most of my time here in Bricklington. I haven't gone as far as the Bricklington Canal, Hunmanby, and Driftfield, so I wouldn't know where this Sodor Island is.
Never mind, Eliza. Let's try to get out of this goods yard and find the nearest station. They're sure to have a map.
Excuse me, miss. I couldn't help but overhear that you were lost in any directions.
I was wondering how to get to the island of Sodor.
Sodor? Why don't you come with me and I'll see what Frankie and I can do to help you. I'm Hurricane, by the way. Frankie, I'm home! And I brought a newcomer.
Oh, what's your name, little one?
I'm Eliza.
She's trying to find her way to Sodor, Frankie.
Really? We rarely see any Great Westerners this far north. Where did you come from?
I came from Oxford. That's where I used to work with my brother Peter.
And where's your brother?
He was bought to work on Sodor, which is why I'm trying to get there.
You must need a refill from your long journey. Cooling water on the other side of the building.
Okay then. Thank you, Hurricane.
Think of that. Coming all this way.
Yes. She sounds like a keeper, don't you?
Thanks for allowing me to refill. Now, can you two please tell me the way to Sodor?
You mustn't worry about going to Sodor tonight. Why not stay here for the night?
It must have been a long day for you, from traveling so far from your home.
Yes. Go on inside. We'll keep you nice and warm.
This is the hottest place in town. Ha 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 ha! Yeah!
I don't know where you thought you were going, but here you are.
I don't know what you thought you were doing, but you come so far. This is the place that you're meant to be.
These are the sights you were meant to be seeing.
We'll lift your thermostat up a degree or two.
And we're guaranteed that you'll be agreeing it's true.
Woo! This is the hottest place in town.
We'll warm you up when you're feeling down. We'll make a smile out of every frown.
Just take a look around at the joy we found.
This is the place you can have some fun, where you can feel like you're number one. We got more sunshine than the sun. There's a light in our eyes we simply can't disguise. This is the hottest place in town.
time to start work, little one.
Start work?
Well, seeing as we're kind enough to offer you enough coal and a shed to sleep in, we think it would be fair if you could help us with some of the work around here. After that, then we'll tell you the directions to Sodor.
Oh, well, I suppose it does sound Whoa!
You're too kind.
Eliza? Why did they shunt you here? I don't see why we have to help out. If this place can't afford enough engines to help, it's not our problem.
Now, Carl. Though I see your point, it couldn't hurt to help them out. You don't get something for nothing.
Fine, but there's something fishy about this place. Whew! In the summer, your cab is like a furnace, Eliza. In the steelworks, it's like an incinerator.
Filling up on water again, I see. Well, more fuel means more work. And we are very impressed with the work you've done, little engine.
My name is Eliza. And I think I've done enough work from helping you two. Now, can you please tell me the directions to the island of Sodor?
Not right now, little one. Maybe if you sort out all those trucks in the yard before me and Hatt can come back. Then I'll tell you.
Wait! I have been working hard all morning. You can't keep me here!
Hey, what's the big idea?
No one told you to stop shunting. Now get back to work.
Open this gate right now, or we're ramming it down.
Yeah, I don't think you will. Unless you want to work straight into the night.
So, this is it then. I'll never find Peter or Sodor. If he's stuck here as a slave.
Hey now, we'll find a way out. We've made it this far and we've gone through worse already. I mean, we hid from diesels and traveled halfway across England by now.
I can think of many ways we can get out of here.
No offense, Carl, but all of your ideas will get someone hurt. We need to somehow sneak out of here without letting anyone see us.
You want to sneak out of here?
Who are you?
I don't have a name, only a number. They call me 16. I used to work here with my brother, Wilbert.
So, why aren't you working? Did they take you apart?
No, it was all me. I wanted to see what would happen if I went past the danger board of the slag embankment. They warned me not to pass it, but my curiosity got the better of me, because one day I did pass the sign. I tripped over the rails and fell down the embankment. You could say I went cab over wheels. I was placed here out of the way until I received new parts to fix me up. But that was many years ago. Frankie came to replace me because the manager had to sell some engines for being too expensive to run. But with it just being the only two of them and not enough help for their work, Frankie and Hurricane do this charade to convince an engine to stay and do their pilot duties.
There were others before me? Where are they?
They all escaped, one way or another. The gate is the main exit, but Hurricane, Frankie and the workmen put a stop to it by placing a lock on the gate. But there is another way out.
Where?
It's down a siding, just after the slag embankment. It should take you straight out to the main line.
Thank you. Why don't you come with me to Sodor? It's the least I can do to repay you.
No, I'll only slow you down. Plus, if our engines are trapped here too, they'll need to know the way out too.
Come on, Eliza. We better go before they get back.
Okay, here we go. Carl, could you...
Eliza, where are the trucks I told you to shunt? Hurricane! Get her! She's escaping!
Forwards! Go forwards!
What's happening? Driver! You go after her. I'll stop her up front. What are we gonna do? I can't go on this loop forever.
We got company.
Where do you think you're going, little engine?
Got you!
We're boxed in!
No, we're not!
Push against her, Hurricane!
Sorry, Frankie!
Don't just stand there like an idiot! Get her!
Let's get out of here!
Phew! Good thing the points were set so we could have derailed at that line.
Ah! Oh, whoa! There goes another one.
Hurricane! Get me back onto the tracks! Right now!
Oh. Coming, Frankie.
You know, even though it was a very narrow escape, I wasn't scared that time. Well, okay, maybe a little bit, but after what we've been through so far, I don't think I would be a scaredy engine as easily.
Ha! Diesels, factories, nothing can stop you.
Then I can do this. I'll make it to Sodor in no time. So, which way now?
There must be a logical way about this. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. This is the track for which we'll get...
Oh, hello there. Who are you?
I'm Eliza.
That's a pretty name. What are you doing up here? Great Western engines don't usually roam on air and ER rails.
Well, no. I'm actually trying to get to the island of Sodor.
Oh, I've heard about that place. Some of my friends have visited there a few years ago, and one of them was allowed to stay.
I'm sorry, but what's your name?
Well, I don't really have a name, just a number. D812.
Oh, I see. You're not going to tell anyone about me, are you?
And ruin your journey to Sodor? Of course not. But you do know you are going the wrong way, right?
What?
If it helps, I could take you as far to the nearest harbor. There might be a ship heading to Sodor.
This is obviously a trap.
Yeah, no kidding. Who's ever heard of a friendly diesel?
How about we just go back to Bridlington and see if they have another map we could use, or...
That would be wonderful. Thank you.
Great. Just wait here. I'll be right back.
Eliza, what makes you think we could trust a diesel to get us to a harbor? What if she backstabs us? leaves you rusting on the siding while me and Carl are arrested for trespassing and stealing railway transport.
Jerry, I know you're frightened about losing me, but we've been traveling around in circles. Just as things go up, we come back down again, until some luck helps us to get a little further. We need to take this chance, if it's the only way I can be safe, and see Peter again.
I'm sorry. I just hope this doesn't turn out bad.
Jerry, Eliza seems to know what's best, and we do have to take this chance, for Eliza's sake.
I double-checked the timetable, and this train's heading for Blackpool. It may take a few hours to get there, but beyond the town is a harbour, and there should be a boat heading to Sodor.
That's wonderful.
If we leave now, we can get there before dark.
Okay, I'll couple up behind the train so I won't be seen. With the help from D812, she pulled Eliza through crowded stations and junctions without stopping. As they passed through former LMS territory, a few diesels eyed Eliza and muttered some prejudiced things about her. But Eliza didn't care, as she was getting closer and closer to Blackpool, just one step away from reuniting with her brother again.
We're here! Hey, Eliza! Look to your left! Now, I'm not sure which ship is heading to Sodor, but I can't stay long, for I have to take another goods train soon.
That's alright, D812. You've done enough by getting me this far, so I thank you for your kindness.
It was nothing. I wish you the best of luck to your new home on Sodor.
So, what do we do first?
I suppose we got to find the harbour master and make up a reason why Eliza is heading to Sodor.
But where are we going to find him? This harbour is pretty big.
We'll have to split up. I'll check down here. Jerry, you'll search up there. And Eliza, you stay there.
Someone please move those vans away. They're blocking the line. What's this engine doing here? Someone move it out the way, please.
Oh, no. I was sent here to work, from the island of Sodor.
Well, you're not in my papers, miss. Which doesn't look good for you.
Wait, but I...
Sir, I found this thing in your office and thought it was important.
It's a bit dodgy, but it all seems in order. Alright, send her on her way to Sodor, on the SS Sodor line.
Phew, that was too close.
Yeah, it was only lucky that I found a spirit form and quickly filled it out. But I don't think he fully bought it. He's most likely going to make some calls to confirm the order. Which means we have to get you onto that ship before they find out.
But where's Carl?
Oi, you two! I bribed the workers to allow Eliza to board their ship. This is it, old girl.
We've had a good run, the three of us.
So, I guess this is our goodbye?
What are you talking about?
Yeah, we're not going anywhere.
But don't you have your families and friends here?
Well, none of us are married, and our friends and families won't be going anywhere. It's time we start a new life with the three of us. I mean, who else is going to look after you?
That, and I think we'll be arrested for stealing and trespassing.
I've never forgotten you, Peter, for you've always been with me. But now, it's time I return to you.
Oh, my goodness, why do I have to work so late into the night?
Evening, Frankie!
Hello, Percy. Oh, why did you have to pick up your mail at this time of day? It's not even morning yet.
Well, Sir Topham says I have to do all the mail runs, or people won't get their mail in the morning. Otherwise, that'll be another thing to add to your lifting list during the busy hours.
Yeah, good point. Heathen hurts! What is this? Weighs a ton!
Is it Gator again?
Peter!
Oh! Eliza! Is that really you?
I finally found you! You don't know how long I have been searching for you. I missed you, little brother.
Wait, you two are siblings?
Well, yes. You never told anyone about me, Peter?
Oh,
It's alright, I forgive you.
Oh, well, it's so great to see you again. I was just about to do my mail delivery. Want to help out?
You bet! Helping you. Just like old times.
Just like old times, alright. Oh, and by the way, I got a new name ever since I came to Sodor. I'm now called Percy.
Percy, huh? I like it. It's small and cute like you are, Peter. I mean, Percy.
Oh, that's gonna take some time to get used to, right?
Percy, I've come such a long way to find you, and I couldn't be more happy to be with you.
You were prepared to do your best, had what it takes to pass the test. All those doubts you can dismiss. Turns out you were prepared for this. You clearly had just what it takes to journey on at such high stakes. I knew for sure you would prevail. Since when does my sister ever fail? All those doubts that you can dismiss. Trust yourself and you cannot miss. Turns out you were.
Turns out I was.
Turns out you were.
Turns out I was.
Turns out you were prepared for this.
Huh. Siblings.